You should not be a motivated person. Generally, when we say somebody is motivated, it means they have an agenda of their own. Life has no agenda. It's for you to be a full-fledged life. A grasshopper is trying to be a full-fledged grasshopper, earthworm is trying to be a full-fledged earthworm, a bird is trying to be a full-fledged bird, a tree is trying to be a full-fledged tree. A human being should strive to become a full-fledged human being. This is all our business is. But each one of us start creating our own agenda and doing all kinds of things. No, you're just a piece of life. Don't take yourself too seriously. Because before you and me, countless number of people have come and gone. Where are they, all those people? You think they were all idiots? They were all idiots and they died, is it? No, they were also like you, maybe they were also officers, maybe they were kings more than you, all kinds of things, all topsoil now. This will also become topsoil. What you call as life is a brief sparkle. The only thing that you have to do is rise and sparkle as a full-fledged life. When something is needed around us, we will do that naturally, because when you're doing wonderfully well, you will do what is needed, isn't it? When you're miserable, you will be motivated. Tell me, when you're very happy, have you looked at yourself? How nice and wonderful you are, you're willing to do anything for anybody, bend backwards if necessary. When you're little frustrated, whoa, how difficult it is. So, don't teach your children to become motivated about something. These are all nonsense that's coming from the West, all those trashy self-help books. Motivate yourself, build confidence, believe in yourself. You believed in God and destroyed so much of this world. Now you believe in yourself, what will you do? All this trash is coming from the West. You don't have to be motivated. You just have to see how this is alive to its fullest possible level right now. If it's fully alive, it will do everything that it can do, isn't it? What it cannot do, anyway it will not do. We must be doing what we can do. What we cannot do, it doesn't matter. What we can do must happen. For this, all that's needed is, you must understand life is a very brief sparkle. It's just poop, poop, poop and gone. Yes or no? Before you know what's happening, you'll be gone. Unless you're miserable. Miserable people have a long life. Only they feel life is long. If you're very joyful, poof, it'll be gone before you know what's happening. Have you noticed a specific day, you're very happy, 24 hours, gone like that. Little miserable, 24 hours, feel like 10,000 years. So time is a very relative experience, but if you compare to how long you will be dead, you will be dead for millions of years. You're alive just for a few, little bit. This time, don't be motivated by anything. All that you have to do is you must become a full-fledged life. 25-year-old boy, he shouldn't become a motivated human being. He must just be burst of life. Then he will not ask, how do I wake up in the morning and be motivated? What are you motivated about? Nothing. If you're alive, you'll bounce out of your bed, isn't it? 70% of the people hate their jobs. How do you live like this? Why the hell are you doing something that you hate, first of all? If you don't love doing what you're doing, you shouldn't do it, always somebody will do it. Someone comes to me, he's heading a multinational company, global CEO. He comes in a distressed state and Sadhguru, I can't take this, they're putting so much pressure on me every day, can't take this. Then I look at him, raise my hands and say, may you be fired. Sadhguru, what are you saying? I said, hey man, you're suffering so much, what is the point? At least if you're fired, you can walk on the beach, huh? Maybe somebody else will do this job little more joyfully than you. You think you're spinning the planet or what? What is the hardship? Are you spinning the planet? Are you pushing it around the sun? Everything is free, isn't it? Everything is free. All you have to do is be a full-fledged life. Don't constipate yourself with too many ideas, philosophies, belief systems, stupid thoughts and emotions with which you get constipated and become less than who you are. No, you should not ever be less than what you can be, isn't it? You don't have to be as good as somebody else, and you can never be, because everybody is different. But you should not be less than what you can be. So you don't need motivation for this, you need aliveness.
I just want to ask you one question. When does one need the motivation? You need motivation only when you are sad. You need motivation only when you are miserable. Tell me, have you ever felt the need for motivation when you are happy? No. When you are happy, you know what needs to be done. When you are happy, you don't need anyone to tell you what you should do, right? You then can take the decision for yourself. But when you are sad, you find it difficult to take a decision for yourself. So when you are sad, you want someone to tell you what you need to do. In other words, when you are sad, you want someone to motivate you. So now you know that the need for motivation arises only in times of misery, which means if you can eliminate misery from your life, you won't need any motivation. If you can experience the true happiness of your real nature, you will never ever feel the need for motivation. As I keep telling you that happiness is always there, it is always present right within you, but you don't experience it. Why? Because of your mind. Yes, the mind is the hindrance. So what you need is to see that your mind remains in your control. What you need is to see that the mind should be your servant. And the most powerful way to make your mind your servant is to bring the quality of acceptance in your life. Remember, it's only when you resist what happens, then the mind creates suffering in your life. But the moment you accept what happens, the mind then cannot create any thoughts, and without thoughts, how can you experience any suffering? And without thoughts, how can you have misery in your life? And without misery, the need for motivation cannot arise at all. So, it all starts with acceptance. Try to bring this quality of acceptance in your life. That is one quality which you will find in every enlightened master. If you look at the lives of all enlightened masters, you would find one thing common in all of them, and that is the unconditional acceptance of what is. They offer no resistance to whatever happens in their life. They just embrace it totally. In other words, they have stopped finding faults with things. They have stopped finding fault with people. They have stopped finding fault with situations. Whatever the present moment brings in their life, they just accept that without imposing any conditions on it whatsoever. They remain in the surrendered state, in total and complete acceptance of what is. That's why you see such grace in them. You can always sense subtle emanations of peace and love in their presence. But majority of the people in this world are just the opposite. They do just the opposite. They are completely trapped in their egoic minds. They are completely trapped in the mind-based identity called the ego. For them, things have to be favorable, then only they will remain peaceful. People have to be nice to them, then only they will feel better. They will feel happy. Situations and circumstances have to be pleasant for them, and then only they will remain pleasant within themselves. Now, this is a very, very pitiful state, isn't that so? They are enslaved by how people behave with them. They are totally enslaved by things happening in their life. If it is in their favor, they feel happy. And if it is not, then they are down in the dumps. The happiness that they feel when things are in their favor is not really the true happiness. Why? Because it is dependent on something outside of you, which means if you remove the external condition, then this happiness will disappear. On the other hand, true happiness is not dependent on anything whatsoever. It stands on its own. It has got no cause behind it. That's why the scriptures call the happiness of your true nature as uncaused, which means it has got no cause behind it.
And once you experience this uncaused happiness of your true nature through meditation and your spiritual practices, then the need for motivation will disappear once and for all.